G'day mate, how you going?
Yeah, good too.
That's good mate. So yesterday we did the functional movement. Now I know we tried to catch up. I think work just got in the way of a few things, which is absolutely fine. How are you feeling after the assessment yesterday?
Yeah, good.
Good. Are you happy so far that this is all making sense why we go through this process before we do the testing and then we go into obviously the program, the writing? Are you happy with why I'm doing it?
Yeah, certainly.
Okay, awesome, cool. If at any time you have any questions, just sing on out, all right, mate?
Oh.
I just want to reiterate, I did this because I needed to see if there was any movement anomalies and any postural corrections that were needed to be made prior to prescribing the program, okay? Because ideally what I want to do is not place your body in any undue stress, well, pretty much just bring on pain, okay? So what we've done is we've done the assessment. We've gone through the tick and flick sheet here. And from this, I have identified some anomalies. So then what I'm going to prescribe is some corrective strategies. What then we'll do with these is I will program this within the programs and also provide you a copy of them so you can look at it as well and you can do them in your own time, okay? Because what we want to do is we want to correct the technique, reduce the risk of injury, nice and safe, and then eventually no pain, okay? Any questions before we go into the results?
No.
Okay, so first thing, you did excellent. I'm going to tell you that, okay? You did really, really well, and you should be really proud with how you've come along, okay? Mm-hmm. When we look at the squat here, the squat's fine, no dramas, so there's nothing there. The first one that I've had to prescribe some corrective strategies to is with the split squat. So, and it was both identified on both when you had your left leg forward and then your right leg forward. I don't know if you're aware, but your trunk is not parallel to your shins as you went down. So as you were coming down into the split squat, you were leaning forward and twisting left. Okay? And then when your right foot was right, you're still leaning forward and coming slightly left.
Yeah.
So ideally what we want is that nice, just like the squat, that nice split squat, nice parallel, okay? And a nice neutral spot, okay? Noting that you didn't indicate any pain, don't need to refer you on to anyone, which is great. But because we've got an anomaly there, so just a postural change is required, I'll take you through some of the corrective strategies, okay?
Yep.
But we'll go through the rest of this first, okay?
Oh.
The hip hinge, so if you remember the hip hinge was one, we had the dowel over the back, you held it, and then you're engaging hips, you're pushing hips, and then you were hinging over. So ideally, you're like this, we wanted the body to do that, at least to 70 to 80 degrees. I know you didn't feel any pain, but did you notice that it wasn't kosher? There was still a bit of things that wasn't right. Did you notice anything, or did it all seem fine to you?
I think I was like leaning off a bit to one side.
Correct. Absolutely correct. So you were leaning to the side as you were coming down, and your spine wasn't in a neutral position. That was just because you had that lean. Yes, the dowel remained over the footprint of your back. I'm just going to use the layman's terms for you.
Yeah.
It wasn't neutral, so there is potential for injury in your lower back as you're going to see your hinge exercises. That's things such as your kettlebell deadlifts. Into your remaining deadlifts, okay? Things that we just need to correct before we add the weight, okay? Yeah. Once we straighten that up, so as you said you're doing that, once we straighten this up, your trunk will become parallel to the ground, your pelvis and your spine will be neutral, okay? And then we'll minimize the risk of injury to your lower back, okay? That's ultimately what we want to do. Once we correct that, you get comfortable, you start building that confidence, we can start to progress it, okay?
Yep.
Any questions on that one?
No.
Okay, awesome, cool. Everything else was absolutely fine, mate. You were excellent. So there's no issues on anything else. There is no need to refer you on to a specialist. Yep. So I'm quite happy with that. Okay. So the corrective strategies in which I'm going to prescribe, and I am putting them into your program, okay? What we're going to do now is we're going to talk through them. I'm going to provide you the pictures, and then I'm going to demonstrate them for you, and so then you've got an idea. feel free to record it as well. Just put like "feel this cool" in it, especially if you post it to Facebook. All right, and then once you're happy that you know how to do them, then we'll give you the program, take you through the program, and then I'll here to support. Okay.
Sweet.
Awesome. So with the split squat, also known as lunges, there are a couple of things. So we're going to go through, and I've prescribed something for your hip mobilization, for the activation of your hips, and then to progress from just a body weight, we want to progress up, correct it, and then we can add those weights. Okay. Mm-hmm. So what I've prescribed is I'm going to prescribe over the 2 sessions the world's greatest stretch when we start, and then a hip flexor stretch at the end in the warm up and the cool down. Okay.
Yep.
I'm going to prescribe. I'm going to put in program the banded crab walks, just so we can, as you go down, you got that nice neutral and you're not swaying. Okay. Mm-hmm. So rather than doing that, we can straighten you up. Okay, and then we'll work on that neutral spine. We're going to start with some dowel assisted split squats. So exactly what we did then, but we're going to put that into your program. Okay. We'll then move on up into some banded assisted split squats. Then we can move up into goblet squats, sumo squats, all the way up to Romanian deadlifts. Okay, yep. and other forms. The sky's our limit. On that, we're not going to start with kettlebell squats. We're not going to start with Romanian deadlifts or kettlebell split squats. The reason for that is because until we correct the technique, there is that possibility of injuring your back. Okay, and that's not what we want to do. Okay. What also I'm going to prescribe then is some stuff to do with your hip hinges as well. Again, I'm not going to prescribe those deadlifts. I'm not going to prescribe the Romanians. I'm not going to anything that puts undue stress onto your back. Okay. Yep. What we're going to do is I'm also going to prescribe some standing hamstring stretches. Okay. Mm-hmm. I'm going to give you some inchworms to do. They're actually cool to do a warm up with. I think we've done them at PT ourselves. Yeah. So they would be easy to demonstrate for you again. For your hips, and then the activation of your posterior hip and the erector side of it, and then progressing, we're going to put in things such as glute bridges, banded kickbacks, extensions, prone supermans, as you see here, the tall kneeling hip hinge, and then the knee restricted hip hinge. Okay. Yep. So ideally, once we work on your split squat and also on your hip hinge mobility, so as we're doing this one, so we work on that, then we can really build into a very successful strength and conditioning program whilst bringing into that cardio. So this won't prohibit the cardio, I can tell you that. So this will just help us modify our strength program as we move forward. Okay. Yeah. Ultimately, this should not take long for you to adjust. Once you're comfortable, and we'll come back through, I'll do another functional assessment just on, we can modify it, we'll do it just on the lunge, split squat lunge, and we'll do it on the hip hinge corrections. Make sure that you're nice and good and ready to go. Once you're ready, we'll go straight into a loaded type for you, okay?
Sweet.
That's pretty much it, mate. I can give you a copy of all this. Have you got any questions?
No.
Awesome, mate. Well, if that's it, mate, what we'll do is we'll make our way out onto the gym floor. I'll demonstrate this for you. Please take a video. Again, feel free to say, "Go Phil." Okay, and we'll go from there. All right, buddy.